Alright, welcome back to another Neotech Spotlight. Today we are going over one of the more complicated bits of the mod, and that is the upgrade system and the thermal binder. This, in my opinion, is one of the coolest parts of the mod, so let's just jump right into it. Here you have the thermal binder. Let's look up the recipe for that real quick. You need slime balls because it binds stuff. Redstone, gold furnace, fairly cheap. The only thing you're going to have trouble is finding the slime ball, that if you have Tinker's Construct installed, it's almost trivial. Here we have the interface. It looks a little complicated, but I'll go over each thing. Here you have the energy bar. That's fairly standard, shouldn't be too complicated. Here we have the thing we want to bind upgrades onto. So this will be a motherboard or an electric tool. Here are the upgrade slots. These are what contain the upgrades. This is stackable, so if I were to get, let's get some processors. You can see they stack up to 8. That is the maximum amount you can apply to whatever you're upgrading. Every upgrade stack size equals the amount of maximum upgrades you can put on whatever it goes onto. So, motherboards can only have 8 processors, and these stack. You do not have to put in like this. Processors can stack, and you can apply them in bulk as such. I'll go over the upgrades a bit. Here's the output slot. That's where it comes out. That's the start button. This thing does not start automatically. Here is a liquid tank. You can see it takes a bucket of something. What could that thing be? Well, very simple. It is tin. So if I stick a bucket in here, now we have molten tin. This is required to bind things to whatever you're upgrading. It uses 20 millibuckets, so it's not much. One bucket will last you quite a while, but you do have to get that. You can do this in one of two ways. You can use the electric crucible, which we will go over more in the next video, but you provide it power, you put tin in here, and it melts and comes out. You can then bucket it out of that, put it in here, or whatever you want to do. Keep in mind that an ingot follows Tinker's Construct rules, where it equals 144 millibuckets. So if you want to bucket it out, you need to get at least 1,000 millibuckets. Now that that's out of the way, you can see here it holds a bucket, and we're almost ready to go. Let's stick a solar panel on top just to get it some energy. Here we go. Of course, the thing itself can be upgraded. It says 0 ticks, but that's just because nothing's in it. Let's stick a empty motherboard in here, and let's do some upgrades. So let's say we just want to make a fully upgraded motherboard. We're going to put in 8 hard drives, 8 processors, an expansion, and a control upgrade. Alright, here we go. Now I'm actually going to go into survival so that we can see how long this takes. It will take a while. And when I press go, you can see here it's going to start counting down. It takes a second to analyze everything, make sure it's ready to go, and here it is. It's binding. This uses a lot of energy, 200 RF per tick, so you need to make sure that you can support this. If you cannot support this, so let's let it get a little ways in, and let's see, you run out of power. Oh nope, there it goes, and it stops. All progress has stopped. I stick it back in, and oh no, we have to start the whole thing over again. Just wasted all that energy. So be very careful when you do this. I would do the math. See how many ticks it takes, see how many RF, double it out. Make sure you have that in one of these guys. Stick it next to it, charge it up. Alright, now, since I'm in creative, it doesn't do that. It just goes immediately. And now we have an upgrade motherboard. This is very simple. You put the upgrades on that you want, and there you go. You cannot unbind this. So, unfortunately, once you've made it, you're kind of stuck. So, if the build you're using does not have support to add more upgrades onto it after it's been put on, that will be implemented. It should be. I'm in the process of working on it right now, but I wanted to stop to record this. If you say you had 4 processors and you wanted to put 4 more on it, you could put the filled motherboard in here and press start, and it would bind 4 more onto it. But as of now, once it's filled, you're stuck with that. So be very careful when you're designing these and make sure it's exactly what you want. Now to go over some of the recipes of the upgrade system, since that's what we're focusing on at the moment. The motherboard is fairly cheap. It's just some iron and redstone. That gives it the base and some connectivity. Here we have the hard drive. These are the disks. Kind of use your imagination here. Here is the adding the connectivity to it, and gold because, I don't know, I did this a while ago. Control, very simple. It's shapeless, so if you try to make a torch shape, it's going to make a torch instead of this, but it's just redstone and a stick. It's not used for much, and it only adds redstone support to most machines, so I did not want to make it expensive. I just wanted it to be something, if you wanted it, it was very accessible. And the expansion upgrade. This one is more useful, and we'll get into more on that later. You've already seen in the machines how it's useful, but for the moment, you can see it's just a paper, redstone, and iron. So with that, you can now make motherboards. Fairly simple, and then you put the motherboards in all the machines and the pipes. That is the thermal binder. Of course, you can upgrade it to make it faster. Yes, I have math here. It's kind of complicated how it handles its speed up from the processors, because the amount of things you put in here determine how long it takes. So as you can see, that's not what I wanted. If I put one hard drive in here, it takes 200 ticks. If I put 8 in here, it takes 1600 ticks. So it scales to how much is in there. Now, in order to make the processors scale with that, there's a little bit of math involved so that it will always take out X percentage of the process. All I can say is more processors equals faster machine. That's about as simple as I can say it. The hard drive, of course, makes this bigger. Redstone gives you redstone control, and expansion gives you access to automatic I/O. Yes, this machine supports automatic I/O. Anything can be upgraded can be put into here. Anything that can be upgraded onto that can be put into here. But you still have to press the start button. So not really the most automatable. I might make it so that a redstone signal will activate the process, but at the moment you have to go into it and press the start button. Now, this is used for more than motherboards. So let me clear all this junk out of my inventory. It also supports the tools. At the moment, the list is mildly small, but I'm sure there will be more in the future, and that's why I'm not going to go into tools at the moment. So as you can see here, I have an electric pickaxe. Mining level stone, this is what happens when you craft it out of the box. I'm not going to go over the recipes or anything because, again, everything about the tools will be gone over in that video. I'm just demonstrating to upgrade it. You put things on it in the binder. So if I wanted to put a mining speed upgrade on it, this one you can add on after already adding. So as you can see, it added that, and now it's maxed out. That is the tool. So tools are also upgraded in here. Of course, if you put a tool in here with 25,000 RF, and I put in a bigger battery, like the Elite battery, it will copy the RF battery onto the tool. And this can be swapped out even backwards. So if I go here, I can put this back down to 100,000 RF. If I so felt like it. Not sure why I would, but just so you know, the battery does not count as an upgrade slot and can be swapped out. The same with any of the electric tools and armor. With that, that's about all we need to go over for the upgrade system. Just to show you where all of these are, motherboards go into the motherboard tab. Everything that can accept an upgrade has a motherboard tab. To demonstrate that, I'll also show you on the pipes. We have a motherboard tab. So if you see that, that means it's probably upgradable, and the information tab will also give you the information you need about that. Alright, that's all there is about the upgrade system. Next, we will move into the metal system.